Yo, hey, I'm back. And today we're discussing one of people's biggest fears, failing. Let's get into it. Everyone is afraid to fail. Absolutely everyone, including myself. If you watched my last video, I'm super nervous on YouTube, expanding myself out creatively. Super nervous, don't know how people are going to react to my viewpoints or ideas, criticism. It all wraps around to the ideology of failing. Now, people, obviously people don't want to mess up. People want to do good or, have other people perceive that they are doing good in various instances. But if I relate it to myself, obviously putting my face out there is kind of nerve-wracking, very scary, a lot of other things. It's not only nerve-wracking and scary, but it's just, I don't know what's out there, and I don't know until I try, and, just putting your foot out there is really the biggest step. That's what I did with my last video, and that's what I'm going to continue to do because that's what I want to do. Now, obviously that's hard, can muster their guns or maybe not, just people around them are just blocking them mentally from really going for their dreams. Obviously I think, one of the main reasons of people not trying to do things is loss of reputation. People thinking you're a 10 out of 10 dude and you try something new and you completely fail. You want to be how people perceive you as, if you're the star quarterback at your local high school, right? And you're like, oh my God, he's going D1. Oh my God, he's going to join the NFL. And let's say you try out or whatever and you only get scouted for a D3 school and everyone thought you were D1 material, you may not tell people hey, I didn't really go D1 or D2. I'm actually D3, so that could actually be something, but that's just an example. Another could be doubt yourself, and everyone doubts themselves. Who doesn't doubt themselves? I've doubted myself numerous times. I'm actually doubting myself right now recording this video for you, completely doubting myself that this will be a cohesive video that I can somehow get out to everybody and express myself correctly about this specific topic. But obviously this thing holds you back, your own self, because you may actually want to do it, but think you're not good enough. Now, I don't know who hasn't thought that in their entire life. I'm sure Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, LeBron James have definitely doubted themselves at one point. But it's just how you pick yourself up from that point of doubt. Now, you see me, I'm doing what I said I was doing. I'm picking myself up. Hard, but doable. I personally don't want to just say I'll create things for myself and not do it anymore. That's just me. But you yourself has to be hey, I'm going to get this done. Hey, I'm a chef. I'm going to go to class and learn things. I'm going to become a photographer. I'm going to grab my camera and learn about ISO and camera technology and color work and, just taking the first step to hey, I want to accomplish this and I want to do it myself. Number 3 is definitely the fear of the unknown. You don't know if you will succeed, if you won't succeed. And let's say you don't succeed. It's how you pick yourself up to try something, to either try that task again or move in a direction that you think fits you better. You yourself know what you like and what you don't like. And you know what you're completely capable of as a person. Now, some people may not, but I believe deep down inside, everyone knows hey, I can definitely get this done. It's not even themselves. Maybe it's societal pressure or parental pressure or some other outside force stopping you. You're hey, maybe you can't do this, blah, 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 all in your mind and people around you that stop you from trying to achieve your dreams and whatnot. But achieving your dreams is never easy. Being the best there is at any specific task is never easy. Working for what you would want, again, is never easy. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the simplest, most idealistic thing possible. It could be building skyscrapers, anything that you want to be the best at is hard to do no matter what the subject, genre, or whatever. Now, personally, number 4 is what speaks to me, is perfectionism. Now, obviously, everyone wants to be perfect at what they do. Last video, I was I want the perfect lighting, the perfect YouTube desk setup, the perfect camera, perfect mic. I want to sound fantastic to you guys. I wanted to do all of that, and I had to sincerely stop myself. What you have is enough, and you can create what you want to create with what you have. And I had to really put that down and think about that for like 2-3 weeks. Like I was like, do I have enough? Is this going to be good enough? Is this going to look good enough? And I finally put my foot down for myself and I said, nope, it is going to be good enough. I know what I want to create, and this is definitely going to let me create what I want to create. I don't need any extra gear. Get down, say 10 toes down, put your foot out there, and definitely get going. And that's what I'm doing. Perfectionism really was probably my self-doubt, and perfectionism was probably personally the biggest ones to stop me from doing what I want to do, which is currently what I'm doing right now. Number 5 is failing at something in the past, which may lead you to think you'll fail now. I failed at countless things in my life. From I wanted to be when I was little, I wanted to be like a pro skateboarder. That never worked out. I got good, but I was never like one of those guys that were gifted and just phenomenal. I tried, but just wasn't it. I wanted to be an architect, that never went out. Thought I did, but I really didn't have like the creative mind for architecture itself. And when you go to college for it, it's totally different than what you perceive it is. So I said, never mind, I'm not doing that either. Back in the day, I used to mod Nerf guns, and I used to break Nerf guns all the time. Spent hundreds of dollars on tools and whatnot. Break a Nerf gun that cost, I don't know, $50 to $100. I'm like, oh, it is what it is. I failed countless times on countless things, and I think those failures were stepping stones for me to create what I'm doing now. Like somehow my Nerf guns led me into becoming an engineer, which I am now, and being bad at skateboarding. But I learned all these technical skills, which led me into photography, which I use now, and I have a very technical understanding of cameras and gear and lighting and whatnot. Each failure, I've gained a perspective on something that led into what I'm doing now, or maybe led into what I'm doing later in life. But every failure is a stepping stone of positive growth. To be honest, the fear of failure is a common thing. I think everyone absolutely goes through it. I think it's not a thing that a being or animal on earth that hasn't experienced something close to that feeling of maybe I'm not good enough or whatever. But it's how that being or animal or whatever takes the next step, learns from, their mistakes and gains new perspective and builds on top of that to be better at that same task to be later on, or you're ready to do it, or another task that from when you failed gave you the tools to take it to a different task. Like myself, the technical skills of skateboarding led into the technical skills of cameras, vice versa and whatnot. Plenty of things coincide and help you grow as an individual. And, failing sucks. It definitely, you don't feel the best about it, but just understand that it's a step that comes, take it with grace, and know that practice doesn't make perfection. Practice makes improvement. Never forget that. Keep trying. Put your foot down, really put yourself out there, and don't let fear hold you back like it did me. These are just my thoughts. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.